How I spent $5,432 on a first date and got a restraining order from Beyoncé. Let's get into it. Story time. You know, for everybody, I'm recording in my basement today. I'm trying to prepare a mix for something I got going on, an event I got going on. So I'm working on a mix, parting all the wires and all that kind of stuff. So I'm down in the basement, right? This is a few years ago when Beyonce and Jay-Z were doing the On the Run. I think it was part 2 or whatever, On the Run, right? That tour, pretty big tour, huge tour. So when the tickets went on sale, I was in a relationship with, had a significant other or whatever. So I copped 2 of the VIP tickets. Now, this is something I normally do because being an insurance broker, when you're in VIP, you meet a lot of people with, discretionary income. I meet a lot of connections, whatever. So I'm always able to make some, business deals, honestly, in VIP. So I never hesitate. I always get VIP for all the top tier concerts, meet a lot of people backstage, right? So me and this particular girl just stopped talking. So I still had 2 tickets for this show. And it was the last show of the tour and it was in Houston, right? So I paid about $2,200 or maybe $2,300 for these VIP tickets for Backstage and all that stuff, the little perks, bells and whistles and all this stuff, right? So make a long story short, I do a lot of different things. I do the insurance thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I got a couple businesses. And one of my hobbies is I like to design t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. So at the time, and you actually see some of my designs on our website, just click the merch button in the description. When she did the performance at Coachella, right? When she did the performance at Coachella, she came out in that pink hoodie with the sort of design on the front of it, right? As soon as I saw that, I redrew the design. I sent it to my illustrator. He then punched it into the computer. We were able to make the design, blase. Within 24 hours, I had the design on my website on pink hoodies for $125. And the other little t-shirt with the other design, I had them on there too, right? So let's keep it real. I ran up a check, right? I ran some campaigns on Facebook and Instagram and I ran it up, right? I guess we were like a week in, I get an email from Beyonce's management team, their lawyers, and it's a cease and desist. Now, I've been in business a long time. I know I could have won that case because I knew those designs weren't trademarked. But the thing is, when people got way more money than you do, it's not about winning the case. It's how much money you're going to spend in court fighting the case. So I immediately stopped selling the design. But I ran up a nice little bag or whatever. One of the first things I did, to really push the promotion on the hoodie was, I was like, hey, if you post a hoodie and tell a story, a Beyonce story or whatever, I'll put it on my page or whatever. You be entered in a drawing. I can't remember how I did it, something like that, right? So this one girl from Houston, she, made this nice little video or whatever. And we had started inboxing or whatever. She was a cute little girl or whatever. Nothing too serious, right? So I'm still like, dang, I got this show in Houston and I could have grabbed anybody to go with, but I just wasn't feeling that way, right? I ended up talking to the girl that was already in Houston. And she was like, oh yeah, I'd love to go. And, we started talking a little bit more, started developing a little something, nothing too serious or whatnot. I wasn't tripping. She wasn't my woman. I wasn't her man. We was going to a concert together, okay? She was pretty put together. She had 4 Airbnbs and she sort of rotated where she stayed at because of the Airbnbs. Like she basically had all of her money into that. So when one of them wasn't, rented, that's the one she stayed in that month. And she had a whole bunch of long-term rentals with nurses and stuff like that. So she told me she was doing really well with that. She was making good money when it was just her and her daughter, right? Her daughter, fam, I don't like disrespectful kids, but man, her daughter was like super disrespectful. And I guess she had took her phone for something or whatever. So every time I would call old girl or FaceTime her or whatever, her daughter would answer the phone because she would be on her phone. And so her daughter like had a real bad case of alopecia like on the sides and it went back and she always used to have like a struggle ponytail at the top. And then she had like a real bad overbite, but she was always trying to talk about somebody. When I would call, she'd be like, oh, the fat one on the phone. Like, I'm like, the fat one. Listen, family, it took everything out of me to not roast this little girl to the hills. Cause I'm like, you have way too many attributes to be calling anybody anything. right? You need to chill. Like this thing, you got different types of parents. You got like real parents, and then you got these friend parents. And she was definitely one of them friend parents. Yeah, I can't do that anyway. So I never even thought about doing more than what we was doing because I don't like friend parents. You know, we talking on the phone and I'm telling her like, I done been to these shows before. I know what, you know, what I'm in for or whatnot, right? So I told her, now she had bought the hoodie, but I told her you cannot wear that hoodie to that show because they never sold that hoodie. And so if you wear that hoodie to that show, like, and you with me, you know what I'm saying, that I can probably get in trouble or whatnot. And she was just like, I just really want to wear this hoodie to the show, da 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 da. And I'm like, man, you bet you ain't wearing that hoodie with me. And so, you know, we laughed or joked about it or whatnot. And the day of the show come up, you know, I told her, you know, we didn't talked about this, everything, you know, I told her what to wear, da 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 da. She like, well, I'm wearing some heels. And I'm like, you do not want to wear heels because it is a lot of walking. And them, when they take us to the area to see, it's cement floors. And I'm telling you, your feet going to be on fire. And if you do wear some heels, you want to put some flats in your purse so you can have something to throw on because, you know, da 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 da. I am a woman. All I do is wear heels. I don't wear tennis shoes. I'm not one of these little girls. I don't wear this. I don't wear that. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm clearly wearing sneakers because yeah, I've been here before. I'm going to be comfortable, fly but comfortable. And so I get to her house, the VIP entrance, parking, all that stuff. We had to be there like at 6 p.m. So I get to her house about 5:15, 5:30. She stayed about 30 minutes away from the stadium, NRG or whatever. So I'm like, you ready? And she's not ready. She's not even dressed. And she's don't even got her makeup on, nothing, right? And I'm like, are you going? You know what I'm saying? She's like, yes, I'm going. I just, you know, I had a lot going on today and this is and third. I'm like, look, so, and if anybody know me, I don't play about being late. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thing. I'm a Virgo. Like I'm on time. I'm always punctual. If anything, I'm going to be early, right? So I'm like, look, get your stuff and get in the car and do whatever you got to do in the car. But you just need to be in the car in the next 5 minutes because I'm leaving. And she thought I was playing. I walked right back out and got in the car. I'm not being late because of you. You're not even my woman. Like, chill. She gets in the car. She's sort of like flustered and, you know, a little bothered or whatever, but she's getting ready and, you know, all her stuff, right? And I'm like, did you get some flats? And she's like, I'm not wearing flats, Tom. I'm not. I'm wearing heels. So she puts these heels on in the car. You know, we pull up, valet service or whatever, they park my car, and literally we take about 10 or 15 steps and she's like wiggling and crying and all this stuff. Like she don't even know how to walk in heels. I'm like, you look like a retarded penguin right now. What is happening? Why did you want to wear heels if you don't even know how to wear heels? She's like, I know how to wear heels. I wear heels all the time. And she's like, I don't know. It's just something wrong with this ground. Something wrong with the ground. Girl, I was like, at that point, I was almost over it. I was literally at the point, we wasn't in their place, and I was just like, man, why don't you just go home, da 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 da, but I didn't. I should have done that. I should have. So she literally takes her shoes off. We probably got about maybe 100 yards to walk because we had to park, you know, where the valet was to where we was going. Come to find out, they were sending a little trolley to pick us up. I didn't see it until I saw it. And so the trolley came and saved her because literally she was about to die walking to this thing, right? So we get all the way to the building. Before we got on the trolley, I was like, look, my daughter had a pair of slides. And I was like, they probably were about the same shoes. So I was like, yo, you can just throw them on and you'll be good. I mean, because you don't know how to walk in heels, clearly. So we on the trolley, all the people that got the VIP tickets, they sort of like, you know, it's like a little golf cart. They take us back behind stage, or we go back way back. I mean, it was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We black there, like on the way there, you know, Slim Thug. I think PJ Tucker was back there. James Harden was back there. Like it was lit. They had everybody back there. But look, this is the crazy part. So every time we would pass like a celebrity or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They would be like, hey, what's going on, girl? Like she knew him, right? And I'd be like, how you know James Hart? Oh, we hung out with the same people, this and the third. Well, how you know PJ Tucker? Oh, same thing. We just, and And like, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't think nothing of it. She live in Houston. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just visit a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, obviously she got some connections I don't know nothing about, all right? I wasn't tripping. She wasn't my woman, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't her man. So we get backstage. So we get to the VIP area. Stay tuned for part 2. That's all I'm gonna say. Stay tuned for part 2.